Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for today's video. This is a Friday Sews video, but I think it's going to be a bit of a bumper edition because I have an awful lot to catch you up on. It's been a few weeks since I put out a Friday Sews, so I would love to catch you up on what has been coming into my sewing room, what I've been sewing and my plans as well. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for coming out with that fantastic hashtag. So I hope you've all had a good week. It's been a pretty good week here in the French Seams household. I put out my Stitch Festival vlog this week, so a huge thank you to everybody who's watched that video and thank you very much for your lovely comments. If you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, I'll drop a link to it in the description box below. So that was just the most wonderful weekend. It really, really was. So this weekend is Easter weekend, and a very happy Easter to those of you who celebrate. You know how much I love a bit of seasonal clothing. So as you can see, I'm wearing a very, very fun sweatshirt. This is my Bunny Billy sweatshirt, which I just love. So I made this 2 years ago. I was very, very kindly gifted this fabric by the lovely Anne. Thank you very, very much, Anne. And I think there was about 1 metre or 1.5 meters in it. And through some colour blocking and through some pattern Tetris, I was able to make myself a jumper and a jumper for older French seams and for baby French seams. So I can still wear mine, but for the boys ones, those jumpers are now 2 years old and they're a little bit snug, but the boys are determined to wear them and they look super, super cute. So I just had to wear this jumper today. I really, really did. So that has been what's been going on this week. It is of course the Easter holidays, so things are a little bit quieter, which is lovely. So I'm hoping to get some lovely sewing and crafting time done this weekend and into next week as well, which would just be marvellous. So shall we dive straight in and I will catch you up on what has been coming into my sewing room. So following along from Stitch Festival, I was going to be meeting up with my fantastic friend Adam from Adam Sews. So I'm sure you all know him. He's on Instagram, YouTube, and of course he has a fantastic shop as well. So I'll link everything down below. So I knew that I was going to be meeting up with him and I was very, very cheeky and I put in a little order from his website for a few little things that I had spotted. And he very, very kindly brought them to stitch for me. So thank you, Adam. First up is a little template. So if you cast your minds back, recently I made his fantastic mini zip case, this one here, and it is these lovely rounded corners that you're meant to cut off. I totally eyeballed them and they're not perfect. But Adam has a little template on his website, and I'll show you if it doesn't shine. It's a little plastic template and it says Adam Sews with a little paw print, which is adorable. It's 2.5 inches and this is a little template to round off the corners. So I think that's going to make my life much, much easier. So thank you, Adam, for that. Then I put in an order for some labels because he has fantastic ones in the minute. So I took them out of the pack so it wouldn't shine. This one, how appealing, with a banana. Adorable. This one, which is a little octopus, which says a kraken make, which is hilarious. This is going to be perfect on the octopus fabric I picked up at Stitch. How perfect is that? And then this one, which I think is so cute, is bobbin chicken. It's a little chicken and bobbin, which I think is just hilarious. So I love them. He was very, very kind and he popped in some more labels for me. So thank you, Adam. This one says sewed from the stash win, which I love that blue color. It's gorgeous. This one, his little doggy on it. Quilty friends are the best. So true. And then the last one here, which I love, this beautiful one, and it says quilty love and a little block. And I've already put this on a project, which I'll show you very, very soon. He also popped in some stickers, so thank you so much. I love a sticker, I really do. And I just love this one, the little notions. So Adam, thank you so, so, so much. That was very, very kind of you. And yeah, your labels and templates, they're just fantastic. So thank you. So I'll link all them in the description box below if you'd like to pop over and have a look. He has other labels as well, and they're all utterly brilliant. So that was the lovely Adam Sews. So next up is fabric, and that is fabric from The Fabric Obsession, the fantastic Bex and Adele, and their shop is just magnificent. I will link it down below. So I put in an order and between the jigs and the reels, I was able to pick it up when I was at Stitch Festival. I love this fabric so much. Oh my word. So I got two and they're kind of along the same theme. So you can probably see what time of the year I bought them. First up is this fantastic heart print and I just love this. It's a French terry. I got I think 1.5 meters and look at those hearts and the scribbles and the pink and the white and I just love it. I absolutely love it. I have a plans video that'll probably be coming out to you this week and you might see this fabric on my plans video, but I think this is just beautiful, so I can't wait to get started on this. The next one, probably a little bit seasonally inappropriate now, so it might have to be put away until the end of the year. I'm fine with that. Is this amazing sweatshirting. Isn't this just beautiful? These gorgeous hearts, and this is so soft and so furry and so beautiful, but it's just gorgeous. And I have plans for this, but I think it'll be later in the year because it, coming from me, it might even be too warm for this fabric. But yeah, we'll see. It's absolutely beautiful. So love those two pieces of fabric. So thank you very, very much, ladies. And of course, I will of course link the fabric obsession in the box below. So my next order is from the Fabric Romance, and I'm sad to say that the Fabric Romance are actually closing down. So this is going to be my last order from them. So Fabric Romance is owned by the very wonderful Steph, and Steph actually organised Galway Fractales a couple of years ago, which is just fantastic. So I was very, very sad to see that they are closing down. I think her bricks and mortar shop is open until the end of April, and then online the website is going to be open until the end of May. So I will pop a link to that down below if you are in a position to pop over and show Steph some love. So I picked up a few bits and pieces, but yeah, very, very sad. This is my last order from her beautiful shop. So the first thing I picked up was some mesh, which I think will be nice for doing little bags and things like that. So I think I got about half a metre of this. It's lovely and squashy mesh. It's very, very nice. So that'll be fun to use. And the next two things are a bit of glitz, as you know I love, and this fabric is called Washable Craft with a K. So I got silver and I got it in gold, and I think this for bags or for little pots or for little crafty makes I think would be just fantastic. So it's kind of like papery, but it's sewable and it's washable and it just looks amazing, and I was really, really keen to try some. So that's my little order from Fabric Romance. So yes, Steph, again, I'm very, very sorry to hear that, and I wish you well in the future. I really, really do. So I did of course buy a pattern, and I did mention that on my Stitch Festival vlog. I bought the brand new adult sewing pattern by the lovely Victoria from Little Rosy Cheeks, and that is the Maze dress. So I'll pop in a picture here, and yes, again, very, very keen to get that, and that features in my plans video as well. So that was my pattern. The next thing I got, I was very, very kindly gifted, and this is by Sandy Stitched Up. So she's based in Dublin, the lovely Sandra. I've met her a good few times. She is a very, very lovely lady and an incredibly talented embroiderer and sewist and all that good stuff. She's really, really fantastic. And she does these little embroidery kits, and she very, very kindly sent me one to do and to share with you as well. So I'm delighted. I'm going to do a little cheeky unboxing. I don't usually do them on my vlog, but I think they'd be fun to do that. So it comes in this lovely box, all wrapped up very, very nicely. I will link Sandy's website and also her Instagram down below as well, so be sure to check it out. So let's open this up. So she thought I might like the autumnal one, and she was spot on. How beautiful are those autumn leaves? You know how much I love a couch craft. I really, really do. So opening it up, you get a hoop and you get this lovely yellow parcel here. So shall we open the parcel? A little sticker. Open this up, and what do we get in here? Oh, this is beautiful. So you get this beautiful thread, and look at the little, where the thread goes, the little hearts. That's just gorgeous. That's just beautiful. Oh, and on the back you get a threader and you get your needle as well. So how beautiful is that? And then you get, oh, this is your template. So that goes in your hoop. How beautiful is that going to be in the autumn? Oh, I can't wait to start that. That is gorgeous. And of course it's green. Oh, it might go on my wall over here. Fantastic. Oh, and then you get the instruction book. Fantastic. Excellent. Oh, this is just lovely. So, oh, look, and she even shows you all the stitches and how to do it and everything. That's wonderful. Thank you very, very much, Sandra. That is just gorgeous, and I'm very excited to try that. I'll link her website down below. She has a couple of different kits. They all look utterly marvelous, and she does ship worldwide as well. So I'll encourage you to go over and take a look at that. So very delighted about that little kit, and that's going to be a wonderful couch craft for late in the year. So Sandra, thank you very, very much. So what else have I been doing? I've signed up for the May Bag Makers Challenge for Studio 77, so I'll pop a picture of it in here. I think it's called the Velina bag with a little heart cut out on the front. I think that looks very, very cute. So delighted to get going on that in May. I did actually get some wool delivered as well, but more on that later when I get onto the knitting section of my vlog. So shall we move on to what I've been sewing? So first up, if you've watched my Stitch Festival vlog, I made a new dress. And of course it just fell off the hanger as I was trying to show you. So I made the orchid dress, and I'd mentioned that I did want to make this for Stitch, and I was so determined to do it. As I'm sure you know by now, the fantastic fabric is from Stitch Fabrics, and they were at Stitch Festival as well, but it was very, very kindly gifted to me by my wonderful, wonderful sparkly friend Sam from So Let's Sparkle. I even put in one of her beautiful labels in the back, which matches beautifully. Thank you, Sam. So this is the orchid dress by Chalk and Notch, and I think the match of the pattern and the fabric is just beautiful, and I loved wearing this at Stitch Festival. I really, really did. So pop in a picture of me wearing it here. So it's beautiful kind of silky fabric. It's got a lovely wrap here, and I did sew this down. I can just pop it on over my head. It's got these beautiful gathers at the shoulders here, then these beautiful flutter sleeves, So I use the technique using band roll to do these baby hems, so teeny weeny hems here, and I've got a highlight on my Instagram on how to do that. The lovely Rita very kindly gave me a bit of band roll and I was able to use it for these sleeves, which matched beautifully. So basically it's to do a baby hem, you can sew it and then you flip it over and sew it again and then peel off the band roll, and if by magic it makes this beautiful hem. It's fantastic. At the back it's got lovely gathering detail here. At the waist it's got a drawstring, but the back of the drawstring is actually elastic, which makes it so comfortable. It's got wonderful inseam pockets secured into the waistline, and then the bottom is a split hem here, and then it's also got beautiful mitered corners on the hem, so it is just the most beautiful construction all around. Loved wearing this, absolutely love it, and I'm going to do a full pattern review of this dress because I loved it so much, so more on that at a later date. The next bit of sewing I did was, to follow along from the Adam Sews theme, is a little case, and this is called the Lulu train case, and I love this so much. This pattern was very kindly given to us as part of our Adam Sews advent calendar, which I thoroughly enjoyed last year, so thank you again Adam for that. It was magnificent and I was so determined to make it up. You can see I used my new label on it that says Quilty Love, which I think matches perfectly. So the hardware is all from the little sewing tree here in Dublin. The outer glitter fabric I got at the Knit and Stitch in Belfast last year. It's from a company called the Fabric Chicks. I got a little roll of it, and then on the inside I lined it in just a fat quarter I had, and again with the binding, and it is hearts, which is just gorgeous. So it's a fantastic pattern as always. It's fully quilted. You've got this back panel, and then you've got the base, and then you've got the top, a little handle which I did in self fabric, and then you do the zip, and then the inside is all bound, so there's no bagging out. So this little back portion is bound once you attach it, and then all the inside is all bound as well, which I just love doing. So because this fabric was maybe not the most conventional fabric to use for this pattern, I widened my binding from 2¼ meters to 2½ meters, and that gave me a little bit of wiggle room going around the tricky fabric. So I absolutely love how this came out, and it's going to hold all the beautiful things in my sewing room. So Adam, thank you again for such a wonderful pattern. You can of course now buy this pattern on his website as well, and I'll link it down directly below as well, but loved making this, so that was wonderful. As soon as I got back from Stitch Festival I wanted to sew, and this is the first thing I did, and I just love it. So a little bit of a knitting update. So if you've been watching my channel, you know that I really want to make the stripe hype sweatshirt. I'm popping a picture here. I think it's so beautiful. Thoroughly influenced by the lovely Sarah, so Sarah Sewed, Teresa, Lost My Thread, and Erin from Erin Sew. So thank you ladies, and thank you so much for your words of support as well when I mentioned that I wanted to make this. I would like to do a little shout out as well to the very lovely Debs from Debs Made This, and she is a fantastic knitter as well, and I had the absolute pleasure of meeting her at Stitch Festival, and she was very kind and generous in her time and letting me talk to her all about knitting and swatching and gauging and everything. You've been so supportive, Debs. Thank you so much. So I have been doing swatches of this, and it is breaking my heart. So I've done I think about 4 or 5 swatches of the stockinette. Of all things now I'm getting on to the swatches of the rib, which is a twisted rib, which is, instead of knit 1 purl 1, it's knit 1 through the back loop then purl 1, so it looks really nice. I think I'm almost there on the gauges, almost. They suggest a 4mm for the body and a 3mm for the ribbing. I think I'm more looking at a 5mm for the body and a 4.5 for the ribbing. Thoughts and prayers. Yes, that's still ongoing. So that got put in a naughty corner for a little bit, but we'll get there in the end, hopefully. I did put in an order for some yarn though. So the base is going to be this beautiful cream yarn. It's a Drops Charisma. And then I'm going to do the 5 colours. I was umming and ahhing whether to do the 5 colours, but I think I will. In for a penny, in for a pound. So I've got forest green, I've got grey, I've got a lovely blue, I've got a kind of a mustardy colour, and I've got a cerise pink, and these are going to be the 5 colours. I haven't decided what colour is going to go where yet, so I might need to go and rob the boys' colouring pencils and sketch it out, but I think these will look magnificent together with the cream. And these are from 2 yarn shops in Ireland. Dropping them everywhere. I was able to get some from some shop, some in another shop. I got some from Winnie's Wool Wagon, which is adorable, and the other wool I got from the Woolly Castle, so I'll link both those down below. Super fantastic shops, really speedy delivery, wonderful customer service, so delighted with those. So hopefully that all works out. So that is my stripe hype that hopefully I'll be starting very soon. While that was in the naughty corner, at Stitch Festival, I picked up a copy of this magazine in the VIP section, and in it there was a little pattern for an Easter bunny called Erin, the Easter rabbit, which is adorable. I had to make it. I just had to make it. A couple of weeks ago on my vlog, I had mentioned that I had a load of DK yarn left over from various crochet blankets and I was wondering what to do. As soon as I saw that pattern and it said it's for DK yarn, I thought, right, this is perfect. So I went to my stash and picked up some yarn colours and I made Erin the bunny. Oh my word. Isn't he so cute? I am not the best knitter, I'm really not, but I really enjoyed making this, and he's a little bit wonky donkey, but we love him regardless, and I think he's super cute, and I just had so much fun making him. So I think he's not a million miles away from the picture. So I have 2 little boys. I couldn't get away with just doing one bunny, so I made 2 bunnies, and here's his buddy. So I made 2 little bunnies and they are so cute and I love them and they are so sweet and I had so much fun making them. I learned so much, learned all about knitting, all about patterns, increases, decreases, all that good stuff, and I had so much fun making them. So I was determined to make 2 little Easter bunnies. So yes, so wonderful Prima magazine. There was also a recipe in there for a cake that I'm going to make for Easter. So that was marvellous. So that was my knitting. So what are my plans? Oh yes, after that actually, I've now just seen on the Blossoms and Yarn Instagram account that they have a little bunny ears jar cover, which I really want to make now. I'm popping a picture of it here. It's too cute, and now I want to make that as well. So stripe pipe will happen, but maybe after Easter when I stop doing all my seasonal crafting. But anyway, so my plans. I have got a few plans and I'd love to share them with you. So first up on my plans is a little bit of mending, which I'm sure I'm not alone in going, oh, mending, really? Okay. But it just had to get done and I just want to get it done. I have the boys' tracky bums and they both have holes in the knees, so I just need to fix them and just get it done, and I'll be so delighted when they're done. So I do need to do that. So that's my first plan. The second plan is, if you saw my Stitch Festival video, is this fantastic Minecraft inspired cotton jersey. So I am going to make older French seams a t-shirt and baby French seams a jumper. That is what they have requested, and I have very discerning clients. So I went looking in my my scraps bin and I found a bit of this blue ribbing and I found a bit of this cream ribbing as well. So, oh, just threads. There's a mark. So blue and cream ribbing, so I think they'll match quite nicely. So I'm hoping to get them done over the weekend as well, but they shouldn't take long. I'm going to do the Waves and Wild Adventure Raglan as a jumper, and I'm going to do the Waves and Wild Eclipse t-shirt as a t-shirt. Both very much tried and tested patterns. So of course then I'll do my stripe pipe. So they are the plans I have currently. Of course, I do have all my fantastic fabric from Stitch, so another plan might jump in during the week as well. So be sure to tune back next week and see how I get on. So that about wraps it up. Thank you very much for watching. I would like to say one more thank you also, and that is to the lovely people who very kindly gave me a Ko-fi recently. And I would like to say a huge thank you to Suzanne, to Kelly and to Sarah. So thank you very much for that. Very gratefully received, and that is very kind of you. Thank you very much. So now I shall definitely leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you have any questions or comments on anything you saw, please leave me a link in the comment box below. You know how much I love having the chats. If you like this video, I'd very much love it if you give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, whatever you get up to. I hope you get some lovely sewing or some crafting time as well. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you all again very soon in another video. Take care everyone. Bye.